Have you ever looked at Google Ads and just felt overwhelmed? Like it's this giant, complicated puzzle? Well, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to break it all down and demystify the whole thing in this quick starter kit. So let's get right into it. I mean, think about it for a second. This is the ultimate challenge for pretty much any business, right? How do you connect with someone at that perfect magic moment when they realize they have a problem and you have the solution? It's a tough nut to crack, but it's the very problem Google Ads was designed to solve. Okay, so let's dive in. What is it about this platform that makes it so critical for millions of businesses, from the little coffee shop on the corner to a massive global brand? This right here, this is the absolute heart of it. Unlike a billboard on the highway that you hope the right person sees, Google Ads lets you find people with what we call high commercial intent. They are literally typing their needs into a search bar. They're raising their hand and saying, "I need help with this," and you get to pop up with the answer. It's incredibly powerful. And this slide really breaks down the 4 key advantages. First, you've got that high intent reach we just talked about. Then you get a totally measurable ROI. There's no guesswork. You know every dollar you spend and what it gets you. You also get incredible speed and control. You can be up and running today. And finally, the targeting is, well, it's surgical. You can zero in on your exact customer based on where they live, what language they speak, you name it. And this slide just nails the difference between paid ads and organic search, or SEO. The way I like to think about it is this. Google Ads is like a speedboat. It's fast, you can turn on a dime, and it's perfect for getting immediate traffic for a big sale or a new product launch. SEO, that's more like a giant sailboat. It's a long-term journey, building up momentum slowly and steadily. You really need both, but they play very different roles. Okay, so let's pop the hood and see how this whole machine is put together. To really get a handle on Google Ads, you've got to understand the structure, and honestly, it's way more straightforward than you might think. The entire system runs on one beautifully simple concept: pay per click, or PPC. You're not just throwing money out there hoping people see your ad. Nope. You only pay when someone is interested enough to actually click on it and come to your website. It's all about buying actual visits, not just impressions. And this is how you keep everything neat and tidy. The best analogy is a filing cabinet. Your account, that's the whole cabinet. A campaign is like a single drawer. Let's say it's labeled women's fashion. Inside that drawer, an ad group is a specific folder, maybe for dresses. And then inside that folder, that's where you keep your actual keywords in your ads. This structure is so important for keeping your ads relevant. And when you get right down to it, it all hinges on this: keywords. They are the bridge. They connect the words someone types into Google with the ad you've created. Honestly, if you can get your keywords right, you're already halfway there. All right, now for the fun part. Enough theory, right? Let's talk about the key decisions you'll actually have to make when you're ready to build your very first campaign. So you can't just tell Google, "Hey, show my ad for shoes." If you do that, you'll end up showing up for all sorts of crazy searches and just burning through your money. You have to get specific, and the tool you use for that is called match types. You're going to want to get familiar with this table right here. Just look at the example for men's shoes. If you use broad match, no symbols, you might show it for shoe repair, which is probably not what you're selling. But see what happens when you add quotation marks for phrase match or brackets for exact match. You're telling Google, "Hey, be much, much more precise." This gives you amazing control over where your budget goes. Okay, so you did it. You targeted the right search with the right keyword. But your job isn't done, not even close. Now, the ad itself has to do the heavy lifting and actually convince that person to click. And here we have a perfect example. Look at this ad. It's for a clothing store, and it just does so much in such a small space. It's active, it's packed with benefits, and it gives the searcher a crystal clear reason to pick this ad over all the others on the page. So let's break down exactly why that ad is so good. First, it has a clear value proposition. You're getting the latest trends. It's obviously relevant to the keywords. It has that super strong call to action: shop now. You can't miss it. And then it throws in a unique selling point to sweeten the deal: free shipping. That right there is a recipe for success. One of the biggest mistakes people make is they build their campaign, they hit the launch button, and then they think they're done. But that couldn't be further from the truth. That's just the starting line. The real wins come from monitoring and optimizing. This is, without a doubt, one of the most powerful reports inside Google Ads. It's called the Search Terms Report, and it shows you the exact phrases people typed into the search bar right before your ad appeared. I mean, This is basically a direct look into the minds of your potential customers. It's gold. And this slide shows you exactly why that report is so critical. Look at the disconnect. You might be bidding on local bakery because you want to sell donuts, but people are searching for baking classes, something you don't even offer. Seeing this gap between your keyword and what people are really looking for is the first step to stop wasting your ad budget. So what's the fix? Well, you take those terms that aren't a good fit, like repair or classes, and you add them to something called a negative keyword list. This is you literally telling Google, please do not show my ad ever again if someone searches for this. This is how you trim the fat and make your campaigns leaner and more profitable over time. And that really brings us to the future, doesn't it? The world of search never stands still. We've got people talking to their smart speakers, and we have AI helping to write and target ads. It all leaves us with this really fascinating question to think about. As the technology keeps changing, how are we going to adapt to meet our customers in these new and evolving moments of need?